Let's go. So, I wanted to get something off my chest real fast, and that's, I mentioned this before probably, like 1,000 times, but now, this is 100 times. I legitimately, right, there's a part of my little baby brain that keeps going to this. If you're going to do a crossover, and you're going to swap characters from comparable media or whatever, you can't just repeat and rehash plot beats. You just can't. I'm sorry to tell you, but unless you know how to make those harmonize, all you're doing is you're gonna make me go, what the fuck are you doing? Why are these characters sharing this universe? Why are they making these decisions? Because if a plot is driven by its characters, then the decisions are important, which means that their personality shine through in the decisions they make, blah, 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 blah. Let's get going. I snorted suddenly, bringing myself back to the world of the living. Of the waking, sorry. Mostly. I'm pretty sure I was awake. The only thing I could tell, that I could definitely tell, was that forcing my eyes open was like really hard. Reminding me of the one time I got sick and slept for 12 hours straight. Apparently, it was hard not to be exhausted after sleeping that much. At some point, you're just lying to yourself and you get sleepier. Fortunately for me, this class sucks. Fortunately for me, my brain was beginning to shift back into gear, and over the next several minutes, I began... using the same verb there twice in the sentence. This is why run-on sentences are dangerous. They're minefields for making the sentence sound weird. I began to regain mental functionality, which woke me up enough for me to be able to force my eyes. Oh, Jesus Christ, you just mentioned opening your eyes! My God, please, edit your shit. This can be condensed down into one cute little paragraph that makes me go, oh. I was home, somehow. Is home where the hearth is? Have someone just throwing you into the fireplace? The last thing I remembered was Fang and the others talking over me and was falling asleep because of something? It was fuzzy. I was full of carf. I was full of extremely aggressive sedative. Whatever happened, I was clearly utterly laid... What a way to phrase stuff. I was clearly been utterly laid out. Just using two. You're... Motherfucker! Don't use two adverbs! That's too many! Did Mom and Dad come pick me up from school? I wonder if I'd caught a bug and just didn't remember the parts where I was feverish. I certainly had that happen before. Though, usually after I get enough rest, I'm at latest feeling less sick. But at the moment, moving my body at all, I think it's the line break that gets me there. But at the moment, moving my body at all felt like I'd just done a full workout routine at the gym. You're full of sedatives, my man. I tried to sit up, but after grunting with effort and making no progress, I figured I'd deal with the second attempt later. God, I was tired. You're not tired, man. Your body is just... every muscle is pumped full of numbness. Staring up at the ceiling, it was just barely beginning to be light out. My internal clock strikes once again. Probably a little earlier than I usually wake up, but given the beginnings of daybreak, it isn't too far off. What was weird was that I was on the couch, which I could easily tell from the ceiling above me. Why, I really recommend that you, like, shift this over here, because you're bringing... Again, you're doing the same thing twice, right? And usually, you want to know what smart writers do? They see sentences like these and they go, fuck this shit. I'm throwing it over here where I'm already mentioning this. You go, staring up at the ceiling, I could tell that I was on the couch. It was barely beginning to... And then maybe you talk about the couch, like, why it's weird to be there. I don't know. You want to make your thing feel like an actual train of thought instead of, like, you know... But you don't need this extra sentence. Unless you really want to establish man's on the couch, which by this point, you know, it's going to be self-evident anyway. Like, if your character is on the couch, and the couch doesn't contribute anything to the scene, just fucking throw him on the ground. Just stomp on his face. The character won't notice. I managed to push my legs a little bit to shuffle backwards enough to prop my head up onto the couch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just say you push yourself back. I don't know. It's like you're describing an action that doesn't need this detail. This isn't irrelevant. I pushed myself back enough to prop my head on the couch arm so I can look around a bit more without having to fight gravity. You can roll your head, man. Like, I don't know why this is any easier. Also, isn't this more uncomfortable? Now your head is, like, leaning on this extremely tired body. Like, your neck is under stress right now. I had a blanket draped across me. Explains how ceiling extra... You fucking nerd. Wait, I don't have a wing-padded blanket. It's not wing-patterned, it's feather-patterned. It's a wing-shaped blanket. I shifted my head to the side just a little. Well, I couldn't see well because I didn't have my sunglasses on. I could absolutely make out Fang. So you can make out Fang because Fang is a distinct shade of very light green. Lean against the couch, their left wing draped across my body. Gotta make sure it's the left wing. Gotta be uber clear on that. They were asleep, seemingly having passed out. Seemingly, they're asleep. But they could just, I don't know, maybe, like, isn't the only way to become asleep to pass out? Like, yes, they've passed out, they're asleep right now. I watched them for a long moment, like a creep. I'm entering my creep arc thing. The makeup was still missing. Yes, because women clean off their fucking makeup when they go to bed. When a woman goes to bed, she fucking cleans that shit off because otherwise it gets to the pillow. Or in your case, on you. Do you want to be covered in makeup? Like there's just a spot of mascara in your cheek? And I could still spot some misaligned and missing feathers from their elbows and the wing that was draped over me. Even though they looked a bit rough, the mental image of them looking bloodied and sad would certainly stick with you for some time. I was happy that they looked so peaceful snoozing away next to me. I mean, fair enough. Though it probably wasn't very comfortable on the floor. Why are they on the floor? Can't they just kind of lay on top of you in the bed? I shifted. I could spot Ree's shaggy hair beyond Fang, similarly leaned up against the couch. Why doesn't your house have... Why aren't they on the... Does your house have one couch? Who's on the other couch? You're rich. You have 2 couches. What rich family has one couch and no chairs? Like Reed knows how to sleep in a single seater. The man's a pothead. He's done that 1,000 times. On the TV, it was a video game of some sorts. They must have been playing to entertain themselves falsely. Who brought this game? You don't own any. Like, you're not a gamer. Wait, hold on. That mean that Fang and Reed were the one that brought me home? Why are you so judgmental? Why couldn't they just have come over for a sleepover while you were already unconscious? I let out a groan. Man, what the hell happened yesterday? Why did I forget my first time being fucking cooked? I tried to force myself into a sitting position, made a little bit of progress this time. Moving me slowly getting up, shifted things, Fang, and shrouded them from their slumber as well. I managed to get propped up onto my elbows with some effort, as Fang lifted their head and tilted their head and lifted their head and tilted their head and lifted their head and tilted their head and tilted. I'm tilted. I'm fucking tilted. Why do you need both? Why do you need both? These are extremely similarly sounding verbs. And you're just, come on! Say lifted and tilted. That works so much better. Stop this! And unleashed a mighty yawn. Of course, when Fang woke up, very worried about me being absolutely dead, the first thing they're gonna do is gonna... When powerful enough, I was concerned that they probably can. Halfway through the event, what? The sympathetic effect kicked in for me and I almost let out a yawn. Inco, you're too stupid to know what that means. Also, you're talking about empathic. Sympathy is if you feel pity for someone. Unless I'm misunderstanding some words. Sympathetic. Expressing empathy. Oh, it is. The really good... Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of the parasympathetic system, yeah. The red liquor denoting the part of the autonomous nervous system consisting of nerves arising from the ganglia on the middle part of the spinal cord, supplying internal nervous blood. Do those have to do with your fucking yawning? Man, I don't even fucking know. YouTube, can I get a fucking... Why are yawnings contagious? It is in fact called sympathically yawning. How interesting. I learned something today. Suddenly strong, but Inco wouldn't know this term is my problem. He might have picked it up, but like, if he's one of those fucking Reddit kids, like, it's out of his brain already. Or some Tumblr kid. Like, it's left him. I finished the gesture. It's not a gesture! You're not doing this to gesture! The motion, the action. And went back to watching Fang slowly pile back on for the day. Isn't it like before your normal rising up time? Like, how early is it? Watching the half-lidded eyes slowly blink, man, that's extremely... Oh, that's so sexy when a woman is, like, completely out of it. She has no makeup on. She's, like, a mess from sleeping on the floor, and she's like... Ugh. That's the sexiest time of any woman's day. Ugh. As the head looked around the room in confusion. It was pretty funny and cute. Says the man who was literally unconscious for 12 hours. You're so funny. Fucking hit him on the head, Fang. Fuck this guy. It made me feel a little better about myself taking so long. I think by this point you should know that wasn't normal, Inco. Like, how completely unconscious are you about your body that you're like, this is normal? You've been to a dentist. You've probably... How do you not know that it's like, this is weird, right? I mean, unless Inco is familiar with sleep paralysis, I don't know why he would be like this. Wait, cute baka, it's not like I like you. I wonder why. It's because you're the protagonist in a dating sim, man. You need to smooch her already. The Tarot finally had made it through enough of their wake-up process to focus their eyes on me. They return, and they lock gazes with me, shifting my attention. I don't know what's with this sentence, but I just don't like it. Let me go through this again and see what's wrong with this. The Tarot finally made it through enough of their wake-up process for focus to return to their eyes, and they locked gazes with me, shifting my... I don't know what it is, I just don't like the sentence. I'm just very, very specific about this one sentence. I think it's just the linking words don't work for me. Good morning! For some reason, saying that made my stomach feel weird. It's because you're a fucking loser. And so also with that, Fang's eyes snapped wide open. Oh my god, Inco, you're awake? You're not dead? I was gonna harvested your kidneys, man. Seems like it. Though, it feels like I got cinder blocks laying on top of me for how tired I feel. And grunted, trying to sit up more. I would prefer it if he was just flat on the bed and he would on the couch and he's just like so out of it and he's like, "Hey Fang, I can't sit up. Am I okay?" I would think that's nicer because it establishes some vulnerability for him. In fact, he'd be like, "Oh, you poor little man," and slap his little cheeks and beat the shit out of him while he can't resist. Fang grabbed one of my hands and pulled to... Fang, shouldn't you know that you should not pull up someone who's extremely high on drugs? They're just gonna fall over and it's gonna be extremely funny. And then turn around and shook Reed enough to wake him. How the fuck do you wake Reed up? Reed eloquently asked before I got a yawn, which me and Fang reciprocated. That's not how that works. Like, maybe once. Once our little communion was complete, Reed repeated Fang's process. "Oh, Inco, you're up. Yeah, how are you feeling?" "Really, really tight." "Yeah, I bet." So, what happened? The last thing I remember is you guys freaking out after we did finish practice. You know, you finished practice. You didn't do shit yesterday. It was yesterday, right? It's not Tuesday, right? Yeah, you guys were freaking out about something. I don't remember anything else. Fang looked at Reed, and he let out a long sigh as he rubbed the back of his neck. His shorter answer is I fucked up. What do you mean? Did you shoot me with a tranquilizer dart? I mean, I was aiming for the girl behind you, but yeah. Fang, still holding my hand, pulled me forward and around. Why is she pulling you around? Just fucking drag this man through his own house. As I tried to shuffle, so I was sitting with my legs off the couch. Once I was more normally situated, my hand was... Again, there's something about this writing that is just making me go, stop already. Ugh. I'm still wearing my clothes from yesterday. You're such a fashionista. Makes sense. Not like I expected them to change me. I was becoming eminently aware of how sweaty and sticky I felt. That's probably because you had a traumatic, horrible dream, and you were screaming about how hell was coming to Earth. As soon as Reed explained what happened, I was taking a shower. Look, you know I participate in some recreational stuff, right? Sure. So ever since, obviously smoking at school is stupid, I have some carf in the thermos for, some sort of morning brew. Some people like their coffee, I like my carf. Once it's gone, I just, fill it with water and chug the rest of the day to stay hydrated. Reed continued to explain, his eyes staring off into the distance. Cough? Carfentanil. Some of the good stuff for dinos, but it's really strong stuff. It's gonna be dangerous for humans to take. Fortunately, I had water in my thermos, and you just had a really, really diluted dose. It's just enough to put you out for a while, but I imagine that Reed probably empties it down, so it's like a couple of drops, but how diluted is carf in its own medium? Because I highly doubt that carf is just people don't drink just the alcohol, right? And when you smoke weed, you inhale a lot of, ambient air with it. You're not just, taking a brick of condensed pot smoke into your lungs. Even heroin is suspended in a medium, right? I'm asking. So when I borrowed your thermos, I drugged myself. Yep. What else happened? I don't remember anything after that. Fang, who was sitting with somebody next to me, let out a muse. Why isn't this fucking line just on here? Just put this line up here. You don't need the new line. Man, dweeb, if only you could have seen yourself. What's that supposed to mean? Fang held up a hand to placate me. In a defensive gesture, you mean? Nothing bad, just kind of funny. You ever seen those videos of, dogs going post-surgery and they're just No, we're talking about that kid that went completely fucking off the rails. Why are you talking about dogs? We all know that whacked up kid, man. Oh, God. Fang let out a soft laugh. Can't have the non-binary person let out a non-binary laugh. That would be too much to ask of her. We grabbed your phone to find your home address. Reed carried you on his back the whole way. Fucking man's got a back. I mean, to be fair, he's a dinosaur, and Inco is 90% fat. I looked at Reed, who flashed me with a sheepish grin. Ew, I don't need to see that, you gross man. It's the least I could do, man. No way, Fang. We're especially Trish could haunt. Trish could do it with the power of pure spite. I nodded. Anyway, Reed was using his tail to keep you in place, and you were mostly out, but we're mumbling about so fluffy you could die? Reed snorted a chuckle. I could feel my face getting hot with embarrassment. We got to the entryway, and the butler guy there was less impressed with us, but he recognized you. We explained that you were sick, and we were taking you home from school since we were your friends, and he seemed to accept that. He was a bit annoyed when you waved at him and said, "Thanks, Jeeves." Reed's smile grew as you remember the scene. Why don't you just get rid of this line and you just say that Fang and Reed smile? It's way better. Don't have them hide it. Have them just be like straight up, "You're a fucking loser, Inco." Just let them call the man out. Why is Fang being so fucking coy? Just have them smile together. Come on. Once we got inside, we managed to get you in here and laid you out on the couch. Just fucking laid you out, took your wallet, the whole business. I'd have your kidney right here. And she just takes out a whole kidney. You protested originally, mumbling something about "where's my wife" or something like that. Where's my wife? Vancitude. The smile faltering a bit. I think it was, "Where's Olivia? Where are my kids?" Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. You may tell yourself, "This is not my beautiful wife." Same as it ever was. And this is the part I was looking for. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again after the money's gone. Once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was, Mr. Potter. What? I don't have kids. I'm 18. Do I look like I've ever dated or had sex, Fang? I'm a Tumblr loser. I have nothing. Did you date someone named Olivia? Did you date someone named Olivia then? I don't know any Olivia. That's a different game, Reed. Stop being meta. Reed let out a loud cackle and Fang looked relieved. Jesus fucking Christ, shut up. Go to hell. Why the fuck would Fang give a shit about your ex? They noticed I was looking at them and cleared their throat before continuing. Fang is such a fucking wife in this. Fuck off for Chapter 7! Let Fang kick him in the dick! Anyways, you clocked out after that, and I didn't want to leave you here until your parents got home. If anything else, we could explain the situation delicately to them. So we got some movies and then streamed some games while we waited. They streamed games? Trish had slapped something together food-wise for us too. Hopefully that's okay. Your whole fridge is just full of breakfast burritos. What the fuck is the deal with that? Do you know what food is, Inco? You can't live off of breakfast burritos, Inco! I'm fine. So, it's about 10. Why is this a new line? Fang nodded. No new line. Just go on. Fuck. What is with these fucking... Ugh, God. Oh. God. This is so flat. Except just enough that it makes me mad. Inco eats orphans for breakfast. Fucking orphan breakfast burritos. Hell yeah. Yeah, about 10, when Trish had to head out, me and Ree told our parents that we were doing study sleepover bullshit just to keep them happy. Figured if your parents showed up, we could just say it was canceled, but, Fang, you do know your dad's gonna kill Inco, or at least extort him for a ridiculous amount of money, right? That's just how that flies. They didn't show up. No. Is that a sticky note on the fridge? Yeah, there's like 10 of them. They're all like, "Hey, Inco, have you considered eating actual human food?" And then they left behind a can of cat food. Do you even have a cat? No, we don't. I'm pretty sure Mom just always whatever. Let's see. Sweetie, business trip again. Food in the pantry for you. Be back Monday. Love, Mom. That's a double quotation. Actually, it's a single quote, right? Because if a character quotes yeah, it would be a double quote. It's a quote of re-quoting something. It's not a single apostrophe, because this is a direct quote. And direct quotes are double commas to me, and thoughts and feelings and paraphrasings are single quotes. Just for me, because it makes it a little clearer what you're doing. Also, you should put a comma here, because you're technically... The sentence is, this is the quote, comma, this is the action. There you go, I said, with a vague wave of my hand. So they're just gone for the next several days? That's what the note says. Reed looked somewhat confused. Not too much. Don't worry. Reed is on top of everything. But took it at face value. Would he, though? Fang carried an almost subtle look of annoyance. Because Fang is like, God damn it, how am I supposed to propose to you now? All she can think about is marrying me. Because she's a wife. She gets mad when I have exes. Anyway, I guess that explains that. Well, of course, you gotta keep an eye out on you. How are you feeling? Better, I guess. Still pretty wiped out. If I take a quick shower, I could probably walk with you guys to school. Reed said, dropping onto the couch next to me. You need to take a day off and recover, man. That stuff definitely hit you pretty hard yesterday. My frown intensified. I'm not going to be tardy, Reed. I'm Inco. Yeah, I gotta put it together, Reed. Inco, come on. Why are we... Why are you like this? Why are we making a big deal out of the fact that Inco... I mean, to be fair, the big problem is that Reed forgot about this stuff. Shouldn't he know? Shouldn't he be like, oh, actually, we would have like the kind of resistance where he's like, man, I wouldn't even notice if someone just put like 2 drops in there, but he would die instantly. They could poison my food. But it's like that Sicilian gambit, right? Where it's like, I immunize myself to all, whatever it was. I don't know. It's so dumb. No, he's right. I fucked up in a major way. It was lucky it was diluted. If it wasn't for that, it would have been a straight shot to the hospital to get his stomach pumped. Carve's real fucking bad for humans. Why did he get affected so quickly? Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. It takes a hot minute for food to make it through your stomach. Like, your stomach doesn't absorb that many nutrients, all things considered. So unless it's a really potent dose and, like, his stomach wall can't destroy it. Like, I don't know, man. Pot brownies are... Like, the reason pot brownies are so dangerous is... People take them and they're like, these ain't shit, and they take more, and then they just get... Because your stomach is not that fast. No, Inco is staying at his own house, and these 2 motherfuckers somehow managed to sneak their way in. I was really mad at him, but seeing Reed upset like that of all people, still I forgot, I can't do this. I need to get this fucking overlay out of here. Get out of here. It's getting in the way of my text. I need to figure something out for this one. Secondary overlay that kind of accounts for that. I'll make myself scarce. I'll talk to Spears for you when I get to school. At least I could do it for... No, shouldn't his parents be informed? I don't know what to tell you, Reed. You can't go to school and, like, be like, oh, well, don't worry, Principal Spears, I drugged him. His parents are getting called either way, Reed. Unless Inco has to make this call, right? I don't see how Reed could solve this problem for you unless Reed has pull. Man got clout. See you at school, Fang? I'll be alright. You probably shouldn't skip class. I'm Inco. I'm a giant loser. I can't be tardy. I have perfect attendance because I'm a nerd. Stared at me for a moment before also standing. Sure. I'm sure I'll get a shower and then enjoy the day off. And when my parents show up mad that I'm high on cough, I'll probably won't even feel hitting the ground when they kick me out the window. Fang grabbed their bag, stood and stretched, and then headed for the door. A quick glance back as if to check me, and then the 2 were gone. Who's the 2? I'm just saying. Can't just imply it. I needed to take a shower. This is like the 4th fucking time you've brought it up. Just take the shower already. Get changed. Yes, we know. I'm so mad. I know he didn't mean it, but goddamn it, Reed! I kept grumbling to myself for a few more minutes before the immediate anger petered out. Goddamn, you're such a loser. Sucking in a long breath, I held it for a moment, then exhaled. I was surprised. I thought you were just going to keep it in your lungs for the rest of your life. What is this writing? What are we fucking doing here, right? I don't give a shit. Like... I think I really wants a shower, otherwise the demon pulls him back into his PV with legends installed. Whatever, I can deal with it later. For now, I need to get back up and get cleaned up. It's kind of implied you're going to get up if you're going to get cleaned up, unless you're planning to roll over to your bathroom. I pushed myself off the couch and on them. Why didn't you just ask them to help you? Immediately, I felt a sense of vertigo paired with a sense of weakness in my legs. I fell back down onto the couch. Alright, fine. I'll relax a little bit more on the couch to let the rest of that out of my system. But I get up and actually do something for my day. Hands come by, the door buzz, rousing me from my sleep. I thought you were relaxing. I was in a deeply unpleasant position with my legs and hips up on the couch, my face on the floor, and one hand draped over the back of my head. What are you doing, man? I lifted my head. Judging by the sun's position, it was after. Man, what the fuck is that carve doing to your system, Inco? You're just dead. Crap! I slept literally through the entire... How short do you stay up in the evening, man? Intercom buzzed again. I tried to push myself off the ground, but most of the joints in my body screamed in protest. Still need to answer the call. Crawling my way over to the front door on all fours, I scrapped. I don't know how I feel about you. Don't do this. Like I don't like how this guy keeps doing like a verb, and it's all like action verbs in sequence, and it's like I get it, you have a very nice vocabulary, but can you just have the character do the fucking thing? I don't care about the sequence of events that lead to things that aren't the fucking plot. Just say that it's a weird, awkward wobble over to the intercom. It's good enough. This is too much detail. Mr. Nito, there's a Fang and the gang here to see you. Shall I let them out? I like how the intercom rings up the doorman. That's weird. What is up with these people? Inco has a bad trip and Olivia materialized in his house. A canon event's happening. Yeah, I mean, he mentioned Olivia, so he might have summoned her if he said the name one more time. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead. Very good. So there you are momentarily. This is why you tip him. Because he remembers Fang and the gang. The line clicked off, and I took a breath, pushed away from the roll. I my joint popped at the same time. I think another thing that makes this so much harder to read is that so much of it is new lines. Like, stop! This is one paragraph! What is this obsession with having everything on a new fucking line? I clicked the lock open. No, you clicked the door open. Why does your door lock? Who locked the door? You were on the bed. They closed the door behind them. Who locked the door? And then hobbled my way over to the kitchen. I hadn't eaten in almost a full day, and it was beginning to catch up with me. Nothing to absorb all that shit in your system, man. The note said there was stuff in the pantry, but I opened the out of the side. Random assortment of bits and pieces. But hardly anything could be called food. What in God's name is toothpaste? Hair gel? Why is this in the fridge? I like how your parents have me spices. So you gotta keep them around, you know? Awesome, thanks for real fucking helpful there. I'm going to push you out a fucking window. I'm losing my shit. I'm already mad at Reed. I'll be mad at you too. Probably some frozen burritos in the freezer. How do you have... A knock at the door. A knock at the door! The lock at the door has changed. Roused me from... So they knocked on the door, and it doesn't just open? Doesn't your front door open inwards? Why does your door have a handle? In most apartments I've ever fucking been in, right? Your door doesn't have a handle. You open it with the key. When it's open, it's open. Because why the fuck would you put a handle in an apartment? Other people walk through that hallway to your house. You lock it. And it doesn't have a handle. What is with you Americans? You're fucking creepy. I'm gonna leave my door open. Oh, don't worry. My garage doesn't lock. And you can come in through the side. People are fucking crazy. It's an apartment complex. I know that it's a nice one, but shouldn't that mean that you get a lock because it's nice? Oh my god. Also, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of a doorman if anyone can walk up to your door and open it? I don't know, man. This is like a weird piss Princess P detail. I think it's an American thing we're just too European for. Americans don't just love having unlocked doors all over the place. Yeah, I got a back door, I got a front door, I got a door in my garage, I got a door up in my bedroom that directly opens above my bed so someone can strangle me from above without me ever noticing. I don't lock any of them, because why should I? I live in a nice neighborhood. How can bad people get into a nice neighborhood? Gated? No, you can just drive on here from the I-15. I'm safe. The police will never suspect a man who can open my door without picking the lock. Jesus. I'm not even kidding. Like, the thing with the garage door is apparently super fucking common. Like, breaking into an American house is apparently just fucking easy as shit. If you can't just break in through those shit wooden walls they have. Awesome. Thanks, Mario, up for that. It's open, I yelled. The door was quickly clicked... Oh, why... And I lean back to see my... Why does it click? What kind of locking mechanism do you have that it clicks? It just goes... Just goes... Shh. To be fair, USA also have a second domain for this deterrence for bad people. You go into the house when all the lights are off. They're all asleep. Just hit him in the head with a hammer. You know what a shotgun's really bad for? Shooting around a corner. There's a reason why when you go into a house in SWAT procedures, checking corners is like a whole fucking thing. Sure enough, it was Fang and the gang. Just call them Worm Drama. They're a band. Come on, they have a name. Don't call them the Dino Gang. That's technically all 8 major characters in Goodbye Volcano High. Technically 6. It expands to Naomi and to the other one. Technically 5 because Rosa gets invited later in the story. It's 5 people, then it's 6, then it's... I don't know if Naomi and Nasser are invited at the same time. But it's a... All I'm saying is the Dino Gang is a weird fucking name and actually grows, and it's kind of interesting that they do something with that instead of just being like, this is just these people. It's a weird bit of dynamic energy that group has that I kind of like. Because so many of these fucking games are like, no, this is the friend group, no one will be introduced, no one will make any friends once we're past chapter 2. Here's Ben, here's Damien, here's Liz, here's Mia, here's everyone. You know everyone in the story, fuck you, no one gets introduced, this is the friends. And I hate it. It's so lame. Think about it, right? In Wani first chapter 1, you meet Ben, you meet Liz. Now, Liz you meet a little later, but she's implied to exist. She's kind of in the background, and it also kind of feels like they were trying to make chapter 1 done and just couldn't get Liz's assets to work quite nicely. But we even meet Mia. We meet Ben. We meet Damien. Olivia and Liz show up, I think, at chapter 2. So, like, in 2 chapters, everyone's already introduced. And I get it, but it does remove some of that dynamic energy of these are people that met in high school and just kind of drift closer together and all that stuff. Although, admittedly, it's half because the friend group that we're talking about is like... Remember this. The Wani friend group is 2 people living in the same house and one of those people's dates. Like, what a shitty friend group. Also, I still don't know why Liz likes Damien. Other than that, like, she has to wrangle that guy 94% of the time. Ugh. Anyway, the guys show up. I don't know why you couldn't just fast forward to after school the next day if he's gonna be this fucking dead. Like, they just took the... I don't know. Why you don't look dead. Trisha with an unimpressed look.